Hello, welcome back to Salty Sunshine where we shoot the salt. How you doing, Mama?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Pretty good.
It's really hot over here, and I think humans have like that brain that you forget how every summer you're like, was it this hot last summer? Or every winter you're like, was it this cold?
Right.
You always think like it wasn't like this last year. I
But
think that's
it's
where,
winter.
no, I know it's 80 degrees here though, inside, like it's hot.
Right. I think winter in Miami is the best time of year for Miami because the rest is too hot.
Right. Oh, yeah, I wish it was like this all year, but it's still
Mhm.
too hot for the holidays.
Right. It doesn't feel like Christmas over there.
I mean, I can't even wear like a shirt with sleeves
Right.
sometimes because it's like it's sad. I hate it.
hmm
It sucks. It really sucks. It limits your cute wardrobe.
Yeah. Summer wardrobe is not my favorite. You need fall. Fall is like the perfect, or spring. You
Exactly,
can
because you can
layer.
mix. Yeah, you can go both ways a little. You can like mix and match.
hmm
Here, you might have like a day or two of that, but that's it. It's not enough.
Yep.
So there's breaking news today. So the TikTok ban is January, what, 18 or something? Or 19.
Sounds
So
good.
they declined, the courts declined an extension of that ban, but then TikTok did a emergency appeal to the Supreme Court, which says the Supreme Court has a choice to hear the case or not. They don't have to. They can say no, we're not touching that, and that's it. The ban goes into effect. But today the Supreme Court said, okay, we'll hear your arguments on January 10. They're going to listen to the arguments January 10. They're not extending the ban though. They're
Right.
just going to listen to them January 10, 9 days before the ban.
Yep.
And then I don't know what happens after that, if they extend it while they deliberate or what.
Yeah. I can't believe it's so soon. Like, it doesn't feel like it is. Like it's
It
just
is,
randomly not gonna be on my phone one day.
it's still in effect, but we'll see
I
what
don't know.
happens.
I just like have this feeling that something somewhere someone is gonna pull through, and I
Well,
like in my head it's not gonna get banned.
well, the Supreme Court can pull through.
Yeah,
If the Supreme Court would have said no, we're not listening, it's probably like a for sure thing.
right. So if they're open to it,
Unless the new president can do something. I don't know the legalities or how that works, but I do know that the owner of TikTok or someone from TikTok went to Lagomar to meet with the president.
oh wow.
So I don't know what they were
You mean
cooking
the
up.
future, like the future president?
The incoming president, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know
Um.
what that was
Yeah, I
about.
don't know. It's crazy because so many people's livelihoods, like not even TikTokers or influencers, like small businesses depend on it.
Oh yeah, I
Really
told you
sad.
I saw this lady on TikTok crying saying that her and her husband, that's their sole income, and everybody was kind of mean to her in the comments saying like you shouldn't depend on social media for income, like you should have other jobs and backups.
But that's like someone like having a 9 to 5 and they lay you off. Like what you shouldn't have just had the one income. Like it's like it's an entrepreneurship, it's a small business. That's like them opening a
No, but
shop and
these
it's like you
people,
shouldn't just depend on that.
I don't know if she was small business or not,
Um
but I guess that's true. I mean, I don't know if she was small business or not, but if they were just like influencing and dancing, I think the point of having a backup job, even though that backup job can go away, like you still have more skills. You can get another job. I think if you're just
yeah.
doing like nonsense online, then you kind of lack skills.
Right. It depends what it is. I was talking about small businesses, but if it this
Yeah.
person, there's some people who literally just yap on TikTok and that's how they make money. So I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah, that is, it's so interesting because you kind of
Mhm.
not become brain dead, but you do become a little less
Well, there are a couple
efficient.
influencers before this all happened that came out. This is like a year ago, and they were like, I'm so tired of being by myself and talking to a camera. Like, I feel like I'm not learning anything, I'm not developing any skills. So they went back to corporate.
Oh, I did see a girl say that once. She was like,
hmm
it's very exhausting too, like to show products and do that. It's like it's not what you want to be doing all the time, and it's not the healthiest routine either, like day in and day
Yeah.
out.
And it feels like the same thing over and over. How many products can you promote? Like, it's
And
just, yeah.
and seeing people's nasty comments in your feed, it's like gets so old. It's like
Yeah.
shut up. So we'll see what happens with TikTok. That was interesting. Um, The Grace O'Malley and Brianna chicken fry saga continues. The last week we talked about how they were like feuding, but then this week, so Brianna Chicken Fry said a public announcement that they were going to drop the podcast, which is not new news. But I feel like that girl Grace O'Malley, the friend, I feel like she puts out stuff and then she kind of backtracks. That's not what I meant to happen. That's not. It's like, but you're kind of manipulative because you're saying verbatim these things. It's not like it's being misinterpreted. So for instance, she put out. They had this feud going back and forth because of what Brianna Chicken Fry put out about ending the podcast, but instead of saying we're just ending it, she's like, we're going to try to bring it back with new people. And so Grace was offended because she's like, why didn't I know this? You should have talked to me about putting out a statement. So that was their little feud. And then this past week, a few days ago, Grace put out an Instagram with 3 slides saying she feels so betrayed and all this and that. And she's like, today's my last day at Barstool. I'm as shocked as you guys are. So she made it look like she got fired.
Okay.
But she didn't get fired. She quit. I feel like she's a little like reckless with her posts.
I guess.
And because Dave Portnoy got pissed. So he's like, what the hell? So he comes out, he's like, all right, walk and talk with me. I'm sick of this shit. Everybody get off my ass. Like, I wish these two the best. Like, I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of pissed that she did that because she made it look like one thing, but it was her call. Right. She said she was staying with Barstool, and then she said it was too toxic and she couldn't, like, she was still like, like it was different and it was a little toxic with Brie being there. And so she decided it was the best if she left. And Dave said she has another year under contract, so he can force her or do whatever because she's under contract for another year. Mm-hmm. But he's like gracefully let her go, and he's like, I wish you the best. Like, I wish you would stay. I would love if you stay. If you didn't want to stay, whatever makes you comfortable. He's trying to be supportive to everybody, and he's getting dragged because of the posts like that they're doing. And he's like, I'm so sick of this shit. Like,
oh my gosh.
He's like, I want them both to win. I don't really care for this drama. Like.
So Brianna is still doing the podcast with someone else?
No, Plan Brie was her initial podcast from college. That she owns the podcast. It's like you start a podcast, you already had it, and like years later, you bring me on just as an addition. But then whatever happens between us, we stop the podcast, but then you decide you want to do something else with the same name. Like, it's your podcast. You could do what you want with it.
Okay, and I'm asking if she's still doing it.
Yeah, she wants to replace people. Other people do it, not her.
Right.
But own the name.
But so, did Brianna say she didn't want Grace on it? Like, did Grace quit, or was she just bringing other people on?
So Grace and Brianna decided to stop the podcast together. They both said that they're not going to do the podcast anymore. But the reason the friend Grace is upset is because she announced that they might still bring Plan Brie back with different people.
Gotcha. So it was pretty much right. She just didn't want Grace on it.
No, she's not on it either.
Oh.
She just wants it. She doesn't want to be on it. She wants it to continue to make money off of it, but she's not going to be on it. But then Grace is like, you blindsided me, this and that. And Brie's point is, it's my podcast. I don't have to discuss anything I do with it with you.
That's true. Maybe though, like, between Grace and Brianna, it made it sound like they didn't want to do the podcast, but that was Brianna's way of like getting Grace to kind of like also agree to not want to do it, and then she brings it back with other people. So that's probably why she feels blindsided, because she's like, you tricked me into not wanting to do this. But
I don't know these women.
I don't know if that's actually how it went, but maybe that's why she's upset.
And
or she's a little toxic herself, and everyone in that group is toxic. I don't know.
I was going to say, like, I don't know either of them, and I wish them both well. I'm sure they're both perfectly nice, but I feel like Grace, from what I can see, what she's put out there, she seems a little hard to, like, talk to. Like, the communication's off, because I don't know.
Like, now she's having issues with Kourtney, too, so maybe she's...
But, like, if they're so close and they know each other so long, can't she just pick up the phone and be like, let's talk about this? Like, I don't know. Why is everything
these are social
online?
media people, so they feel like they need to do everything online for views and attention.
Yeah, because Brie's getting all the hate.
Right, and he said, she said they want to like tell their side of the story to the world. So,
and then on the last BFF podcast, Brie did a tell-all, like what would happen between them, and he told Grace to go on it too so they could just clear the air and stop the nonsense, and Grace refused. So Grace is pissed at Bree big time. You could tell that. Like, you could tell that
Yeah.
Grace is more hurt than Bree's hurt in whatever happened between them. Because Bree's trying to be, you know, the person that's logical is like less hurt most of the time. Like, they're not as pissed and they can deal with it more because they're not as upset. Grace seems more upset.
So you think Bree is logical in this?
I think the dynamic tells me that Grace is more hurt than Bree. For whatever happened between them, Grace feels more betrayed and upset about it than Bree does.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. People are still thinking it's Bree's fault then.
I understand that. I'm just saying, I don't know whose fault it is. Because, I mean, there must be more than what we know. What happened between them? Why don't they talk? Apparently, they're lifelong friends. Like, they're families and everything. So
Right.
there has to be something bigger than this crap.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe it happened while she was with that guy, Zach Bryan, and then something really bad happened, and then Bree didn't, like, defend her or something, and then it grew from there. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure it was like a little thing here and there.
But apparently Grace is like a comedian. She's like she's opening up for somebody, like she's like on tour.
Yeah. I heard she's not that funny, but again, like someone else told me this.
Well, she should look, at the end of the day, Bree made her famous and she gave her, she opened that door, so it worked out, but I don't know why they're not friends.
At the end of the day, she'll probably have more opportunity, more time to do comedy stuff. If she didn't even do that well on the podcast, like, it's good it ended.
She should have just stayed on the pod. Like, she was going to do her own podcast. Like, she should have just, I mean, that's a great stream of income to have at Barstool. Like,
but it was, I guess, but I'm thinking they didn't want Grace on it.
No,
they had a contract, yeah, but like he let her off gracefully. Like, I'm saying they probably didn't actually want her on it, even though they had a year-long contract still.
I don't know. Well, that's not what he said, but yeah. Anyways, he's going through all this, and poor Miss Peaches had some sort of surgery, so he's like, I don't give a shit about this. Like, I have to
Miss Peaches,
my little peach doggies, because she's having a tough time here. She had like some stuff removed, and she had stitches and everything, and
oh,
it's Peachy. So the other day, I was scrolling and I saw, remember Jimmy from Love is Blind?
Yeah.
He came on and he was saying that he has like these hairlines, or receding hairline.
Receding hairline.
So he was gonna go get the next day hair transplants.
Good for him.
And I said, wow, I wish more men would do this. Like, I love that for you.
Yeah.
You know?
No, like, if women do everything that we do, it's the least men could do if they can afford it.
That's what I'm saying. So if we had a receding hairline, we'd have to do something about it, because guys wouldn't.
I mean, we still do stuff for our hair. We have the oils and the hair masks and all of that stuff. And then we have our skincare, our bodies, nails, everything. Lashes, like everything.
Yeah.
So the least they can do is fix their receding hairline.
No, totally. So I commented, I'm like, good. I'm like, congrats. I'm so happy for you. Or whatever I said, like, I wish more men would do this. And he responded, thanks. He's like, thanks.
Oh, he responded.
He responded, thanks. But then another guy responded to my comment saying, yeah, you want more guys to do it, but you know how expensive it is?
Go to Turkey. It's a couple grand. You get a free trip. It's an investment.
No, but when I looked it up, it is like, I think because everything is more expensive now, not just that, like everything is like out of reach. But it was like 30 grand, or it was crazy.
Really?
Yeah. It was nuts, which doesn't make sense. Because
I feel like it's not. Like,
I don't know.
I know a lot of people are going to Turkey for it because it's cheaper, and I'm pretty sure it's like maybe 7 grand. I could be totally wrong.
Well, he didn't go to Turkey.
I saw somewhere that it was like less. No, I know, but you should go to Turkey.
I would never go to another country to get plastic surgery. Sorry.
I know, but they're known for that. It's not like going to a random country to get a nose job. Like, people literally, like, they're known for that.
Not doing it.
Okay, well, you don't have a receding hairline, so.
No,
But
I don't.
because I have a friend who's gonna get it when they have a wedding in Turkey, so they're gonna do that afterwards.
A guy friend?
Yeah.
Did you ask how much it costs? Like 7 grand?
No, I didn't ask how much it costs. I'm like, honestly, good for you. And I love
So
that men are more open about it now because now men won't feel like it's weird.
yeah,
Not to
and it
be
just
like,
so happened that the other day I went out with two girlfriends and we were at the bar, and then so there was a girl at the bar like waiting for the guy that went to the bathroom or whatever, so she overheard us talking about snoring. So it's like, oh, whatever. So we were talking about snoring, and then she's like, oh, like the guy that I'm with that's in the bathroom, he's my ex-boyfriend, but we remain close and we're just like brother and sister now or whatever. We're friends. And when I was with him, he snored so bad, like I couldn't take it. I swear that's one of the reasons we probably broke up, because like I couldn't live like that. And I'm like, yeah, and a typical man, like wear a mouth tape or wear like there's tools you can
mm-hmm.
use to fix it. And of course, men don't do that because they don't care about us. They just care
Right.
about themselves.
No, seriously,
And
the amount of men I've heard say like they snore, but they're not gonna like they don't want to wear this or that.
can you imagine if a guy was if you kept a guy up because you snore, like they would not put up with that, like ever.
Mm-mm.
Like it's wild. So then he came back from the bathroom. It's like she's like, "Oh, I'm telling them about your snoring," and then he also was like balding, and I don't know how that conversation came up, but then he's talked about like, "Oh, yeah, but I'm not going to do anything about my balding because that's so what did he say? That's like superficial." And I swear to God, I looked at him and I said, "Well, you would date a girl that was balding, right? It wouldn't be superficial if the girl was balding, would it?" And he looked at me and he's like, huh? I'm like, girls go through so much, and you're telling me that because it's superficial, you wouldn't tweak it, and you won't fix your snoring, and you won't do all these things, but you would never put up with that from a woman.
No, men are so superficial. They're visual creatures. They would never.
You should have seen his face. And my friend was like, she's like, oh shit.
That's the same kind of guy who's like, I like a natural woman, but then
Oh,
he shows you what a natural woman looks like, and she has
yes.
her lashes done, her lipstick on, her blush.
Yes.
They don't know.
No, the guy that tells you he hates blondes and that all he dates is blondes.
Yeah.
But yeah, they won't. I know. Guys are so full of it. I'm like, come on. You wouldn't put up with that from a woman. There's no way.
Mm-mm. And I think we should demand more as women.
That's hence why I called him out.
Mhm.
I was like, that would never fly for a woman. And your guys are nothing but superficial. So
Mhm.
if you think that's superficial, not worth your time to fix, I don't agree. You need to fix it or not, but like, not cool because we fix
Yep.
a lot. So go, Jimmy. And then Jimmy showed the aftermath. He had all these like red dots.
Oh, he already did it. Oh,
Yeah,
I
he
can't
flew
wait to see
somewhere
what it
else to
looks
do it.
like.
So funny. And then, Selena Gomez is engaged.
She is engaged, and now everyone and their mother is gonna have a marquise ring.
So I heard them talk about this on another podcast. I think it was a Biofiles, and everybody was like, "What? People are so annoying." It's like you didn't invent that. Like she's allowed to get whatever the hell she wants. And he made the example, which makes sense. He's like, when we named our daughter, we thought it was so original, we never heard about it, and then after a year, we see that that was one of the top names of the year. It's like you think you're so like unique, but like there's a whole other people, like the reason that so many people are mad about it is because so many people already like that shape of ring, right? So it's like
Right.
it's already that popular is the point.
Right. People always say marquise is for like the unique individual, but I see that all the time now.
People just love to hate Selena.
Yeah.
It's not right. If people are disgusting, like what is your problem? Like she got engaged and this is what you're focusing on?
But they just like to hate, like, it's not even just Selena. They just like to hate celebrities or women because somehow Hailey Bieber got tied into this. And I was like, how is her name being brought up in this situation?
Haley's like, holy crap, not
Right.
again. Because apparently Hailey Bieber made the oval shape the thing. It's like people. There's like 6 ring shapes.
Right. There's really not many to choose from.
God.
So, yeah.
I'm
But
happy for her though.
it was very intimate, and there was Taco Bell, and it was
Taco
cute
Bell?
and simple at the proposal.
Oh, I didn't see that.
It was just like a blanket with like Taco Bell and
Oh,
yeah.
that's interesting. That's ironic because he's like so into cooking and recipes and like trying stuff.
Right. But I think for them both to enjoy it and just relax, just ordered some food and they sat and had a picnic.
You know, I saw Taco Bell is pulling out a new photo drive-through. That is such a genius idea to get people to start social media every time they go through the drive-through.
Oh, that's
And
kind of
they
funny.
isn't that fun? That whoever came up with that, that was solid.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's a drive-through experience. They're only doing it like at select locations to try it out, and they go through the drive-through, and then like Taco Bell can use it on their socials, and then they can like share it, and that's so fun.
That is really cute.
I know.
A plus marketing.
And it's also it's for the it's a Super Bowl advertising campaign.
Mm.
So fun. That's genius. Makes you want to go through the drive-through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should
So
get into the ultimatum.
we're gonna get into the ultimatum, but I wanted to talk about Kourtney Kardashian being in Travis Barker's daughter Alabama's new rap video. Is it hip hop or rap? I think it's kind of rap.
I don't know. I guess, yeah, rap.
So Alabama Barker, Travis Barker's daughter, made her first music video, and she's rapping in this smoky, like sensual voice. It's kind of interesting, her voice with the rap, whatever. But the big news is Kourtney is in the video with her, and she sticks out like a sore thumb. Like she just does not fit in that video. It's
Mm-mm.
cute, but it's a no for me.
I think it's so fun. Like, it must be so fun having her as a stepmom and then like being able to include her and stuff. And it is cute, but I mean, it's the video is just a little.
The video, I think it's interesting because her voice and the thing, it's just like a lot to take in. But then Kourtney in the limo just does, it looks so unserious. Like maybe they should have just did like a few shots of her, and that's, she's in a lot of it throughout the video in the car, and it looks funny to me. She's the way she's dressed, her hair. I don't know. It looks very unserious. I don't know.
Right, because that's like not naturally her scene.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole way it came together didn't work for me, but I thought that was super interesting. And yeah, I'm sure they love her. They're always doing little videos with her, both of the kids. You want to get into the ultimatum? We're gonna do spoiler alerts for anyone that hasn't seen the reunion and the last episode that came out today, including for you because you didn't finish it.
Right.
All right. So, what have you finished? Where are you at?
They're just about to go back to each other, the original couples.
Oh, you're far behind.
I'm like 3 episodes behind.
Okay, I'm gonna spoil it for you because we need to talk about it.
Okay. I mean,
Okay.
I read a bunch of stuff on Twitter, so like I know stuff.
So I saw the reunion and the last episode this morning, and so I guess that Sandy and Nick, you know who Sandy and Nick are.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't get engaged.
Good.
They go on the decision day, and he reaches in his pocket, and she has a visceral reaction, and she's like she's like telling him, no, don't do it because I'm not gonna say yes. And then they talk about it, whatever. And then at the reunion, he tells her, I wasn't ready to propose. I reached in my pocket for a letter I was going to read you. I'm like, you're such a liar.
Liar. Because if he did, he would have like said it in that moment. Like, calm down, I'm not proposing.
Of course. He was so going to do it.
Oh, 100%.
Anyway, yeah. And then the video you sent me of that girl that went on a date with him, I had already seen that.
Oh, yeah.
And tell me that girl doesn't look exactly like Sandy.
Yeah, everyone in the comments was saying that.
She does. She looks like her. So there's a girl that got on TikTok and said, I went on a date with Nick. and he walked me through his garage to make me look at his cars. And then he told me I looked masculine in my outfit. And he had cheap sushi. And so...
Yeah, like they were supposed to meet at a restaurant. And then he like last minute switched up on her and said, just come over. And then he made a comment about her wearing a t-shirt and jeans to his house. And said she looks masculine. Or it was
crazy.
a masculine outfit.
she's crazy for going to some stranger's house. I would never.
I mean, yeah, she said that in the video. She's like, I was pretty stupid for doing that. But
Seriously.
yeah, so he's like just a little weird. Oh,
So they
and he
didn't.
asked her for feedback.
Yeah. Right. He's like, I don't tell me everything so I can work. The guy's a little. He's a little like
A little crazy.
manic.
Yeah, he's manic.
He's definitely manic, but he does admit to having like drug and alcohol abuse to cope,
Oh.
and that he got help for that after they ended it there. Like he went into rehab and
Oh.
stuff.
Okay. People also were commenting on Twitter how like he always looks like he's coked out. So I guess it's true.
Well, he didn't admit to doing that, but just like abusing alcohol and stuff in general.
Mm.
But how did she last with him for 3 years? Like she looks so like
They
calm
look like they don't go well together at all. Like I
at
don't know how
all.
they lasted for so long.
I don't understand it whatsoever.
Yeah.
But then, okay, so Sandy and Nick, they didn't get engaged. He's dating someone else now. So he's like moved on
Oh.
somewhat. And okay, so Sandy was there at the reunion. And then in the show, you haven't seen this yet because that's when the couples are back together. Did you see Nick got the same tattoo as JR?
I did see that. They were back together. So I haven't seen her reaction to it or his reaction, like the other guy, JR, but I saw him getting it and he tells the tattoo artist, I got the wrong tattoo. And I feel like he was just doing that for the cameras because it's just like bad acting.
Well, the tattoo he got was one of two that he had chosen. So he chose that.
That's what he said. Yeah. No, he told the tattoo artist, I got the wrong one out of the two.
But he did narrow it down to the two.
Okay. I'm
So
saying
he
he
picked
just
it.
said that. No, I'm saying he just said the other one to like make it seem like he wasn't trying to copy JR.
He was like obsessed with JR.
Yeah. That would have creeped me out. That would have been the
Yeah.
final straw, like if I was Sandy.
Well, yeah. So, and then JR in the show, he was like so cocky. Oh my God. I don't hate him or anything. Like, he doesn't, like, it's just like, okay, guy, like, all right, like, I get it. You're in the gym 6 hours a day. You want to take a freaking food scale to your restaurant like a psychopath.
Kind of live like
No,
that.
you're obsessed. That's the kind of guy I would never date. Like, I need
Mm-mm.
some, like,
Normalcy.
But yeah, he was a little cocky with that. So, who do you hate more, Scotty or JR?
Scotty.
Okay.
Scotty is narcissistic. He actually gaslights. Like people throw that word around, but he
Yeah.
actually does.
Does he?
Yes. Dude, the episode I just watched was when Zaina and him got into an argument. And mind you, she's my favorite person on the show right now. Like, she does not fall for it. She knows what she's saying. Like, she's sure of herself. Like, that man was trying to trick her in the argument and saying, like, you're really showing an ugly side of yourself. Even though he
But
was
that's
the one.
not gaslighting.
I didn't say it was.
Oh, okay.
But
I'm just saying, I don't think he gaslit anybody. I think he's argumentative and he's immature.
no, he would literally argue with her and like say she was doing something, and at the end of the argument, he was like, I mean, I never said he did it. Like, you're literally accusing her of something, and then at the end of the argument, he was like, I never said that.
Yeah. Okay, so going back to JR, I don't think JR is into Zaina whatsoever.
No.
No.
And I saw that on the reunion, they brought up the hall pass receipts.
Yes, but also Zaina is one of those girls, which we've all been there, but we all should learn and like snap out of it the sooner the better. But Zaina is not seeing things for what they are. He clearly, oh, you haven't seen it yet, but when they get back together and they go back to their original couples, he clearly tells her like he grew a little bit of feelings for Sandy. Like he's clearly telling her he's not there with Zaina and all this stuff. And what does she do? She turns around and like surprises him for a pre-birthday stuff and buys him gifts. And she's one of those girls that you tell her things and she doesn't hear it. She just keeps pushing forward.
Right.
And she proved that when he dumped her on decision day. He said it wasn't,
Mhm.
that he wasn't feeling it, and he wasn't ready. And then at the reunion, she kept hanging out with him. She spent Thanksgiving with him. And the whole time he's telling her, "We're not together, but I don't hate you. Like, I think you're great, but I'm still trying to, like, he's clearly done. He's not in a relationship with her, but she doesn't hear that. All she hears is, but he'll still hang out with me, so I'm going to keep pushing forward." She bought him a gift for his birthday. She took him to dinner for his real birthday. Like, so it's like, but then she turns around and blames him. It's like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen the reunion yet, but everyone on Twitter was saying that she
Yeah.
like was on
She's
his
one of those
neck.
girls, like, she doesn't.
On Twitter, they were saying that she was like on his neck and like
Because
calling him out.
yes, but she can't call him out because in this instance, she's in the wrong. If
I
you
guess
let a
I can't.
guy,
I don't know.
if you let a guy, if a guy tells you, "We're broken up, I don't want anything seriously with you right now," and you continue to hang out with that guy and expect him to just turn around and be like, "Okay, I'll be with," that's your fault. Like, you're
Right.
doing it to yourself. He's still being a what but there's no responsibility from him to you at that point, and you can't scold him for it anymore.
That's disappointing because she held her own with Scotty, but not with
Right.
him.
Because she wasn't into Scotty, so she probably saw things clearer. But because she's into
Right.
JR, she's not seeing things clear, and she's
Yeah.
like, but then she's getting mad for things that she's doing to herself. It's like he broke up with your ass. Like, you didn't get back together, so what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then when they asked if Sandy and JR had spoken, they said no. And then she's like, "What do you mean? What about the happy holidays and stuff?" So they did kind of text back and forth a few times about like how you doing and happy holidays, but that's interesting that they haven't like,
Right. Why wouldn't they connect if they didn't end up with their people?
because he was still messing around with JR was still messing around with Zaina and probably whatever, and then I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if they like at some point like hooked up again and like,
Right. People were saying that Sandy and JR are the type of people who to end up on Too Hot to Handle or like Perfect Match. And I could so see them going on that afterwards.
I don't think so, because I think JR's like really into Sandy.
Then how come I haven't talked?
Because Sandy, okay, so at the end, before on decision day, he met up with Sandy one last time to see where her head is at. JR wanted to leave with Sandy. Sandy's the one that pushed back and said she was in love with Nick
Oh,
and wished him the best. If Sandy would have been like, I think I want to like see where we go, he would have left for her.
right.
But she's the one that was like, I love Nick and blah blah blah. So he kind of let that go, and that's probably also why he didn't pursue her after.
Right. But Sandy can still end up on Perfect Match or the other one.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't liking Sandy though, but I haven't seen why yet.
Yeah, I don't see why. She seems pretty even keel. Although the fact that she could be with that neurotic guy, there must be something wrong there.
I feel like you're missing something because every single person brought up something about Sandy on Twitter. So I need to watch and see like what you're missing.
What am I missing? Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know. And then, yeah, so I'd be surprised. I think JR is really into Sandy.
Yeah.
And then they asked them, everyone in the group was like, they had to have hooked up behind closed doors. Like, there's no way. And Sandy's like, we absolutely did not. And I'm like, okay, they definitely made out more than they're saying behind closed doors. And they probably fooled around, but maybe they didn't have sex.
Right. They definitely, yeah, because their connection was very physical. So there's no way they didn't.
There's no way they didn't fool around. And then Arya and Scotty. Okay.
I don't know how Aria was ever with him, but
So they got engaged on decision day. And then at the reunion, she reveals that she called it off the next day. And
smart
she was
girl
like
ish.
too wrapped up in her emotions, and it was like it was too soon, and she knew it wasn't like the right time. So they kind of stayed cool, and like they were working towards that. And I think he moved to like the same city so they can be around each other and work on their relationship. I think they even moved in or something. And then she said they slowly went back to their old dynamic, and they just couldn't get along. And then
No one can get along with Scotty.
But she said that he really tried. That he really, really tried, and he was crying and everything at the reunion, and she felt
Well,
bad for him.
of course he tried. He's the one who gave the ultimatum. He's the one who wanted to get married.
No, but he really tried to work on himself and like change the dynamic of their relationship, but they couldn't get there. And then she said that the last straw was like, I told him we need counseling or I can't continue. And then I guess that's when they broke up or something. So that happened.
After being with Caleb, I don't understand how she could have any interest in someone like Scotty.
Well, I think Arya's in love with Caleb.
Oh, 100%. She
Like,
was so in love with him when they were together.
big time. And at the reunion, she's coming at Caleb fierce, and the girl, she's pissed. She wants that guy. She's in love with that guy.
Wait, did Caleb and the other girl, Mariah?
Mariah and Caleb got engaged at the decision day. And then they went for like a year-long like road trip to like visit family and tell everybody and like enjoy their year, and they have all these cute photos and stuff. But he lied to her about having a connection with Arya. He always said it was never like that.
Right, but he even said that to Arya, which is
Yes.
crazy.
Right. So Arya came pissed and she's like, you're a liar, blah, blah, blah. And you were on my stories. You were liking all my stuff. You were watching me on social media. And he goes, I watched everybody's stories that were here. Like not just you. Arya was pissed. Arya is butthurt. She's so into Caleb. Yeah.
They looked like they had a connection. It didn't look like it was just like Arya blindly or delusionally liking Caleb. Like they look like they go well together.
Yeah.
And
But
even everyone on Twitter was like, the difference between Arya and Caleb when he's with Mariah is so different. Like he's not like silly, goofy, like chill. Like he's just kind of just shut down with Mariah.
it's so true. And it's like, it's almost, and Mariah annoys the shit out of Caleb from what we saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're still together?
They're still together, and then Mariah at the reunion was kind of upset, and she's like, he lied to me about the actual emotional connection they had, and like finding this out and hearing this now and knowing that you were on her social media, like I'm pissed. Like that's annoying to me. Like, because whatever. But they're still together and engaged.
I mean, Caleb must have not liked Arya then. Like he wasn't attracted or
Right.
something.
I think right. I think he developed something with Arya, but he didn't like her enough to leave Mariah.
Yeah.
And Arya's pissed because she was like so obsessed with him.
Oh, I feel bad for Arya.
And then she really tried to make it work with the other guy, but like that's it. That door's closed because it's not what she wants anymore. Because she experienced something else,
Right.
and now
She
it's like,
experienced a good guy. Good guy. I don't know. Every time there's a good guy on a reality show, something comes out about him.
But I don't
So
think
we'll
he's even good. I don't think he's a good guy. I just think he's like another experience, like that a healthier type of way of being with someone.
Right. I mean, even if she doesn't end up with Caleb, well, I mean, she didn't, but it's still like it opened her eyes that there's something else out there that she might like better.
Yeah, I actually felt really bad for her at the reunion. I'm like, God, you're pissed. Like you're so in love with him.
Mm-hmm.
And when they asked Arya, have you and Caleb been in touch? Mariah's the one that was like, no. Like she's like, hell no, I'm not gonna let that happen.
Oh.
Like I think Mariah knows how much she likes Caleb.
Yeah, she could tell that they got along.
But she knows that Arya is in love with him.
Yeah.
Type of thing. So.
Interesting. I wonder why Caleb chose her. Just because they didn't seem like, I don't know.
I think they had a certain dynamic going in. And then once they got to talking about it and tried to fix it, then they kind of got to the other side and kind of like worked on that.
So they're the only ones that got engaged or stayed together.
No, well, Arya and Scotty got engaged but didn't stay together.
Yeah, like a day. So.
And then Vanessa and Dave, one of the couples that left, came back to the reunion to say why they left, and they left because of Nick.
Oh, I knew it. I was gonna bring that up. I knew that girl saw something in Nick, and she's like, no.
Yeah, so Vanessa said, I'm not going to say everything because there's conversations, and Nick pulled me outside or in the bathroom where there's no cameras and microphones, and he started spewing all his bullshit of what he's struggling with, and it's personal, so I'm not going to say that. But I will say I'm not going to stay in a room with a guy that's using alcohol and whatever else he's doing and acting manic. I'm not going to do
Oh,
it. Like, I didn't feel comfortable.
I knew it. I
Yeah.
knew it. After I've like seen him have these like manic episodes, and like she probably honestly did not feel safe with him.
Well, she probably thought this is going to be miserable for me. I'm not going to go through like another how many weeks, like with, because she's
Yeah.
like, I was sad when I saw my guy with another girl and I vented to Nick and he was there for me, but I tried to do the same for him when he was pissed about his girl, but he didn't. I received his help. He wouldn't receive my help. I tried to tell him, "Do you want me to stay quiet? Do you want, like, how do you want me to be there for you?" type of thing. And he wasn't. He was being mean to her instead of letting her help him. And so she's like, he was rude. He's like, yeah, I was rude. He's like, I was like that. I apologize. But so she's like, that's why. And then the guy's like, well, he told the guy, Dave, so did you leave? He's like, at that point, I already knew, like, this is silly. I don't need to be here. And she's not comfortable. And I already know this is the girl for me. I don't need more convincing. Like, let's get out of here.
Are they engaged?
They're together still, like, ring shopping.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then Chanel Micah just didn't show up, the other couple that left.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm glad they cleared the air with that because I knew it.
I knew it too. I'm like, who's gonna be in that room with that guy? Like,
Mm-mm.
he's going
And
crazy.
it's such a stereotype, but like he's such an artist.
Well, he said to be with an artist, I have to find the right girl because it's like a whole another intense level of
Hmm.
like being together.
Yeah, they're so emotional and a little
Yeah,
much.
and then the guys' night that they had on the show, I don't think you. I don't. Did you see the guys' night?
I don't know.
It was so uncomfortable to watch. I'm like, your guys' night sucks. Like,
It wasn't the first one where they had the conversation like awkwardly with each other. It was like they actually went out.
it was an out. I don't know where they were, but the girls' night was so much better than their night. The girls were having fun, and the guys
Yeah.
were just sitting around like being bitchy to each other.
Okay, but let's think about who's involved. Like who's in the guy group?
Yeah,
Manic Nick, Crazy Scotty, and JR. The other girls are at least like cute and chill.
they showed a text thread with the whole Scotty debacle, with why Scotty was so pissed that night that JR said all this stuff, and he didn't know where it came from. Like JR heard all this stuff, and then Scotty was pissed. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
They showed a text thread on the reunion, and I kind of tuned out a second, so I don't remember exactly what that was, but you'll see. We'll talk about it next week if you understand why they were showing that thread. But
Okay.
yeah, so I think that's it. Oh, that's all for the ultimatum.
That's all.
We'll talk next week. See ya.
Bye.